We are back with our next episode of Monday Mailbag. This is a series where you guys ask questions and I answer them. So any questions you have, drop them right now. It could be related to college football, the video game, the real life sport, whatever you have that's at least somewhat related to football or me. Ask the question and we will answer. We have a good amount of questions, but I actually want to start this one with a statement that someone commented on my channel, and I thought it was pretty good. First, let's throw 10 minutes on the clock. Also, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Appreciate y'all boys. But let's throw the time on the clock and let's get into the first, I guess, statement is what I'll call this one. If 4-star and 5-stars and high-level 3-star transfers don't commit to a program, they should automatically be labeled a JUCO player and appear in the database the next season, making JUCOs usable, and then also stop high-rated players from just disappearing from the game. I thought this was a great point just because it's currently, so the issue is when you go through a recruiting cycle, you'll have plenty of players, high school and transfer players that end up not signing anywhere. That happens in real life. Now, the thing that don't happen in real life is high level players. It happens so often, 5-stars, 4-stars just disappear. And once they don't sign anywhere, they just disappear from the game. What my guy is suggesting, instead of them disappearing, they just are a transfer or they just a JUCO in the following class. Now that works if you have, a guy that's not a senior. But even if you do have a guy that's a senior, he shouldn't lose a year of eligibility. He still could be a JUCO, transfer the following year. Because, he wouldn't lose a year of eligibility unless he did go play JUCO football. Then he would lose a year of eligibility. Regardless, I think they should stay in the portal. I think it should be 2 years. If a guy don't get picked up 2 years in a row, then they disappear. If you got a transfer, it probably don't happen in real life, but it's probably a situation where a guy, he went in the portal, he didn't find a home that first year, then the following year he found a home. Stuff like that probably happened. I don't know any actual examples. But just something to fix so many players disappearing, man, because it's good players, it's high-level players, and this could be a solution for next year's game. At this point, next year's game shouldn't even have this issue because they should know about it, but I don't think they're going to fix anything for this year. I think the one thing they changed was having guys start off in the open stage, and that kind of helped just because you have less guys disappearing, but you still have plenty. So it is what it is. Let's move on to the, first question of the video. Question for your next Monday Mailbag episode. Are you happy with the decision to fire Brian Kelly? And do you think it was the right decision to do so when they did? So that's a touchy question. The way I'll answer it is I don't ever want anyone to lose a gig. I don't want anyone to ever lose their gig. Never, I think Brian Kelly is a good coach, and it just didn't work out. I think our new AD or our interim AD, Verge, kind of said it best. Is LSU expects to be in the playoffs every year, especially with this new 12-team format. So when that's the goal, every year need to be in the playoffs every year. And to be honest, he didn't make the playoffs in any of his 4 years. So came close maybe, but didn't make the playoffs. So, and then after your 4th year, I understand the decision. Do I agree with it? It's not for me to agree with. I'll be super interested to see who's the new coach. And I think that will, I could complete that answer once we see who the new coach is. And then we'll have an understanding, okay, we fired Brian Kelly, brought in this guy. Makes sense. So I'll say that, man. Touchy subject for me. If you know, you know. Next question. Question for next week, Monday Mailbag. How impactful are scheduling a visit when you don't have 3 arrows of influence pointing up? Good question. And he also gave an example. I have a recruit I could schedule a visit for, but it's only 1 arrow pointing up. It costs 15 points to schedule the visit. Is it more beneficial to schedule that visit or use the hours on another recruit? Other weeks are locked due to he has a visit scheduled for those other weeks. So to explain that question further for anyone that might not have understood, he's looking to schedule a visit for a player, but it's against a team that he's better than. So that's only like a one arrow pointing up visit. Compare when it's the other way around. If you're a bad team scheduling a visit, let's say against Alabama, it'll be like 3 arrows pointing up because it's like it's a not a complimentary visit, but it's a higher tier opponent visit. What I'll say is, if you're just going to do that 1 arrow pointing up, if you can't finesse any complimentary visits or anything, I will still say that visit is worth doing. Only 15 hours. 100% say that visit will still be worth doing, because even that smaller visit is still going to be very impactful on that recruitment. And pitting those 15 hours into another player is not going to be that impactful on another recruitment, if that makes sense, man. The visit, scheduling a visit and just pitting more hours into another guy, the visit, in my opinion, is a lot more impactful, even if it's like a 3 out of 10 visit. So after you do the visit, you'll see the arrows in the bottom right corner to see what the visit was. And it's out of 10 arrows. So you can have like a 3 out of 10 visit. You can have a 10 out of 10 visit, 9 out of 10 visit, whatever. Even like a 3 out of 10 visit is better than not doing the visit at all. Now, if you lose the game, because if you have 1 arrow pointing up, that means you have 3 arrows pointing down. That means you're the higher tier opponent. If you lose that visit, the recruitment could be cooked. So keep that in mind. If you're confident you're going to win the game, I would say go ahead, schedule that visit for that week. Visits are pretty good this year, so I would say go ahead and schedule it. Let's go ahead and get into the next question. So you mentioned being less busy when the football season ends. What do you do for work? I guess this question kind of ties into the question earlier about LSU head coach situation. And then I think a couple people asked questions about, like, what do I do for work, stuff like that. So I work at LSU. So I work in athletics at LSU. So that's why, like, talking about the subject, it's a little bit, I don't want to say touchy, but I just got to be careful what I say. Like, I can't just come on here and just say whatever I want about, because that's not how it works. That's where I work at. So, but any other program, I pretty much speak freely about any other program. You know, I share all my opinions about any other program. But when it comes to LSU athletics, I'm going to be a little bit more reserved and a little bit more smart about what I say, if that makes sense. So like I said, I work in athletics. I don't work for the football program specifically. So, you know, having our coach get fired, fortunately, like, that don't put my job in jeopardy, you know, so to say. So I have worked for football teams. I will say that. I have worked for football programs, you know, when I was a graduate assistant, when I was undergrad. And we actually went through a coach change, and that's very scary. Even when I was a student worker and we had a change of coaching, I was scared because I'm a student worker. We got a new coach. I might be cooked. I might need to go find a new internship. And I was an intern. So if I was in that position where I was working for the actual team, I would be on high alert right now. But luckily, knock on wood, I'm okay right now. I'm in a good spot. But good question. I won't say any more about that. But yeah, I work in athletics, is what I'll say. Next question. Who do you think will win the national championship? I don't want Ohio State to win it, man. Maybe I'm a hater. I just don't want Ohio State to go ahead and two-peat. Who do I think will win it? It's a tough question, man. It's like everyone's so up and down. Like, Ohio State is the one team that's like actually dominating. Every other roster or every other team just, bro, up, down, up, down. I want to say Georgia, but like, damn, at the same time, I don't know. Great question. Please let me know y'all thoughts. Who do y'all think will win the national championship? Because I feel like it really is a coin toss if you take Ohio State out of it. If you take them out of it, it's really a coin toss. But I mean, their quarterback playing out his mind. They just have a good roster, a great roster, and they also have a great coach. Who's going to win the Natty? I'm gonna go Georgia, man. I'm gonna go Georgia. I'm gonna put my money on Kirby Smart to win the Natty. Please let me know y'all thoughts down below. And we have time for one last question, and it's a simple question. What do you think about the roster update? I think it was much needed. I think I made the comment that when this roster update comes, they're not going to add any new abilities to players. I think last year we got the roster update, but they didn't change anyone's abilities. So you had some players shoot up 16 overalls, but still have no abilities to match it because, from my understanding, they didn't add abilities. But you do see here, Ole Miss quarterback, he was added to the game, but they gave him 2 abilities also. He wasn't in the game before this. So giving him 2 abilities, they had to give him everything. His whole overall, they had to build his whole character. He wasn't in the game. But if we go to like a team like Miami, who had a receiver jump up, I forget how many overalls. It might have been like 11, 12. But he jumps up a lot of overalls, and now he has some abilities that are pretty good. Now, I wonder, did he have these abilities before? I don't think so, but maybe he did. Maybe they actually did give some guys actual physical abilities updated. After a further evaluation, I think I'm wrong on that. So this is a Dynasty pre-update, and you see Malachi right here. I'll even make my face cam a little bit smaller so y'all can confirm it's him. And he's a 73 overall, but one thing to note is the ability. So it seemed like they did change at least some players' abilities in this update. I feel like they should have made that more obvious, but what do I know, man? If y'all enjoy this content, like, comment, subscribe, comment down below any questions you have, and click the video on the screen now for my Purdue series.